Good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to the latest edition of Chopping It Up with Ramel. I want to apologize in advance if my energy is not where it normally is. But today is probably the toughest show that I may have done in this 3-year run or 3-season run that I have participated in. And, I was planning on doing a show today to speak upon the Super Bowl prediction of Kansas City and San Francisco. But unfortunately, the Super Bowl will take an extreme backseat to the late, great Kobe Bryant. I have 3 children. They were all sports fans. They love basketball. My oldest, my son, idolized Kobe Bryant as a kid growing up. My oldest daughter was a Kobe Bryant fan. In fact, that's her old jersey right there. My youngest daughter, she started out as a Lonzo Ball fan, but you better not say nothing around her about Jason Tatum. She's a Jason Tatum fan. My wife probably watches more basketball games during the season than myself. That's how big of a basketball fan that my family is. And I'm sure some of you experience the same kind of love and passion for the sport. But I can remember what I was doing yesterday when the news came across. And I've never met Kobe Bryant. But it hit me as if I've served this man dinner at my house. It hit me as if we got together and watched a Pacquiao Mayweather fight. It was like having a family member with some disturbing news. Now, I'm not a Kobe fan, but I learned yesterday that I am a Kobe fan. As much as I respect his greatness, I was just as much as a fan. Kobe, to me, is the last of the Mohicans when it comes to the NBA basketball world. He played the game the right way. He didn't cheat the game. He gave it all that he had. Yeah, there's some guys that displayed courageousness and toughness, but this guy did it too. To see this guy limp off the court with a torn Achilles, but before he gets off the court, he knocks down 2 free throws. Says a lot about his character. We look at Kobe Bryant, we watch this guy come in at 17, 18 years old. He's the only starter in All-Star history to start a game under the age 20. He played 20 seasons in the NBA, and 18 of them resulted in All-Star appearances. When we talk about Kobe Bryant, you're talking about not only a great NBA player, you're talking about someone that may be top 10 in professional sports career. I don't think you can find 10 other people that played professional sports that had a better career than that man right there. Yeah, Ali comes to mind, Serena Williams comes to mind, Michael Jordan comes to mind, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar comes to mind. Maybe Wayne Gretzky comes to mind. Maybe Floyd Mayweather comes to mind. How many more comes to mind before you get to Kobe Bean Bryant? The guy has a top 10 professional career of sports athletes. I'll wait if you could come up with 10 other professional athletes that had a better career than this man, who's 5-2 in championships. He's done it with 2 different teams. He's played 20 years, 7 years he's gone to the finals. 1 out of 3 years he's made it to the finals. When he retired, he was the third all-time NBA scorer. They say he didn't pass. Did you know he averaged over 4 assists a game at the shooting guard position? And I'm sure he would have averaged more if he wasn't passing to Smush Parker and Kwame Brown. You know, for my generation, Jordan was that guy. Michael Jordan. For the generation below my generation, it's Kobe Bryant. You know, I listen to people talking about Kobe would want everybody to play yesterday. Adam Silver missed the ball yesterday. He dropped the ball yesterday. Games should have been canceled. Just last week, I was knocking Kyrie Irving on this same set for killing Brooklyn. But today I applaud Kyrie Irving because when he got to the Garden yesterday and he found out about the news, he said, I'm going home. I'm not playing. 90 to 95% of today's NBA players had done this once upon a time. Kobe. And you're going to put them on the court to play? These guys are emotional wrecks. But that goes to the greatness of this guy. 33,000 points. The greatest Laker ever. A good friend of mine, Jay Black, texts me. Is the Staples Center the building that Kobe built? I said, no, he didn't build it alone. But he definitely made it a residence. He made it a resort. Kobe made the Staples Center a home. See, a house is a house. A house is just a house. But it's the occupants or the owners that make it a home. And that's what Kobe Bean Bryant did for the Staples Center. He made that dwelling a home, a resort. If you think I'm lying, the Grammys was just there last night. That's where their home is because he made that place a home. So much that he made it a home that the Kobe Bryant fans nearly disrupt the Grammys because of the love for that man and what he did and put on a show for 20 years in that place, that dwelling. Not only is it remarkable, it's incredible. The guy had a childhood idol, Michael Jordan. And if you didn't know better, you thought he was Michael Jordan. What he did was phenomenal. He carried on a legacy in the Los Angeles area for greatness of basketball. You know, in the 80s, you had the Showtime era. Magic Johnson, Jabbar. Magic played 12 seasons, went to the finals 9 times. 9 times. That's a tough act to follow. Kobe did it. Kobe did it with so much grace, flamboyancy, skill, charisma, and full of entertainment that the Kobe fans didn't even want LeBron there. And you're talking about maybe this generation that's growing up with the LeBron jerseys and so forth. They didn't even want him there. That's how much he meant to that building and to that city. And to see this young man at 41 years old to leave us far too soon, along with 8 other passengers, including his 13-year-old daughter. Listen, I have 3 children. And I hope what I'm about to say, all you fathers out there can say the same thing. Nobody loves their children more than I love mine. Nobody. And that's not me trying to be better than the next father. That's just how much I love my children. When I see pictures of him and his daughter, I feel like a failure as a father. The love that is shown in those pictures. They say a picture tells 1,000 words. There's more than 1,000 words in those pictures. This is a guy, in the last 24 hours looking at pictures, I'm learning how to be a father. There was not one picture of him and his family or him and his daughters that didn't say, I'm the world's greatest father. That's what I want to capture. As this man is leaving us, he's still teaching us. I believe his next phase in life was about to be greater than what we exhibit or what he exhibit on the court. Why? 2 years removed from the court, there's an Oscar going on. So the Oscar is actually rewarding those the year before. So you could say in his rookie season after his NBA career, he wins an Oscar for a short animated film. Pretty much about his life. It just goes to show you what this guy was made of. I don't think there was a moment or a day that he didn't give something 110%. We can learn from that. At least I know I can. This guy gave 110%. Before coming on the air to you all, I heard a report where they said that if he was sleeping and something came to his mind, whether it was 1 o'clock at night, 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever, he'd get up and write it down. Because as a writer, you can't waste that moment. The guy was focused. The guy was focused. We got a call. Good afternoon. Chopping it up with Ramel, who's in the air.
Hey, good morning. Well, I should say good afternoon, family. Cowboys for life, man. This is Sean. How you doing, man?
Hey, Sean, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm just thanking God for every day, man. Thank God for my family, my closest friends, man. My brother like you. When I think of Kobe, man, if I could, I want to briefly, I just want to show some love and respect for Kobe, man, the Black Mamba, and his family and his daughter, and also the people that perished as well that was on that plane that was, along with him.
Yes.
For a kid, man, I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky. I guess, 5 minutes from where Muhammad Ali was born at. So that was my biggest sports idol. And I've been a fanatic of sports just like yourself ever since I was in diapers. And Ali was my biggest sports hero. Then I think my biggest hero from that point, I love, your Dr. J, your Dirk Griffiths, them guys, basketball guys.
Yeah,
A guy
absolutely.
named Eric Jordan. Eric Jordan came along. Then after Eric Jordan, man, he passed the torch like track and field, man. He run, like he was on that third leg, then he passed that fourth and final leg. He passed that baton to a young kid from Philly, man, Kobe Bryant, man.
Yes.
He's an icon to me more than a basketball player, man. He's an icon, man. He was larger than life, bigger. And when I put him in the same conversation as Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan, I think that speaks volumes right there. Just real quick, I tell people you can debate about it because everybody has their own opinion. I'm the type of person I respect everybody's opinion, but for me, he's the third greatest athlete I've ever seen behind Ali and Jordan. Then I also put in number 2 as far as I've seen, as far as a professional basketball player. But more importantly, man, more importantly, I'm gonna underline that word, them words, T. I mean, I have a daughter, man, at 13. Man, I have a daughter at 13. This brother had, I didn't know he had, I thought he had 3 daughters. Come to find out he had 4.
Uh-huh.
Hey, man, you know, and I know you, and I got nothing but, man, mad love for you and your family, man. I've seen your beautiful daughters, man, that connection, that bond, that love, that realness. And I salute you for being a great father, man. And so it's like, you know, man, I just had to, you know, call your program this morning, man.
I appreciate that.
I couldn't even really sleep last night. I couldn't even really sleep last night.
I appreciate that, sir.
Yes, sir. I had to get some sleep last night, man, because, hey, you know, one thing about life, man, life has to go on.
Yes.
You know, because this is revolving. We all in the world off a revolving door, like going one of them nice high-rise, the high expensive department stores where they got that rotating door that just goes around and around to keep around inside the business.
Yes.
But, Kobe, man, 41 years old, T, man, and
yeah.
Man, I was in LA for 15 years, so I lived and breathed Laker at purple and gold. I lived and breathed it. Kobe, Shaq. That's all. To me again, the greatest 1-2 punch that ever lived in the NBA basketball court. And Shaq, if he was on a 3-way conversation with us right now, he'll probably tell you, I should have just listened to the Mamba a little bit more. I could have got another 3 or 4 with this guy.
Probably so. Hey, Sean, listen, all I can do is echo your words. I definitely appreciate what all you said, including about me, you know, and likewise to you. I do appreciate you calling up. When it comes down to this topic, we can go on forever. And yeah, I just echo everything you said, and I feel how you feel. You know, wow, I didn't know how much I respect and was a fan of this guy until yesterday. And I appreciate the call, and I know you and I will talk very soon off the air. Peace and blessings, and we'll talk soon. Same here. And that was my good buddy Sean. You know, Sean, he when I met him, he made it very clear that he's a Cowboy fan. Ali is his idol, and he's a Laker fan, and he's a Kobe Bryant fan, and he expressed that there. I can't say enough about the accolades and the achievements of Kobe Bryant. You know, the game is going to miss a Kobe Bryant. He never cheated the game. He played every game. He gave it his all. You know, I was in LA living at the time when the Shaq and his breakup went down, and I was actually on record. You don't trade Shaq, you trade Kobe. I felt there was always a Kobe in the making because you just don't find a 7-foot dominant force like Shaq. And I think when you're playing with a Shaq, the game is easier. I mean, it didn't take long for D. Wade to win a championship along with Shaq. And although D. Wade won the championship, I'm sure the game was easier because the big fella was on the court. Well, that's probably why I wasn't in management of the Lakers staff at the time, because they chose to keep Kobe and let Shaq go on. And we've seen the results of it. It was some downtime, but Kobe kept going. And then the trade of Paul Gasol came about, and it changed things. And he had a chance to go to the finals 3 consecutive more times, and was a winner of 2 to go 5-2 in championship. The game is going to miss Kobe. He played it on both sides. He's an 18-time All-Star. He's a 15-time All-NBA team. He made 15 All-NBA teams. 11 first teams. 2 second teams. And 2 third teams. But with that said, of the 15 All-NBA teams that he made 12 All-Defensive teams. With 9 of them being on the first team. And 3 of them being on the second team. So you're looking at 20 years. 2 years he missed the All-Star game. 5 years he wasn't on an all-NBA team. And 8 years he wasn't on an all-defensive team. And oh, by the way, one of those years that he did not make it on the all-NBA team, he made it to the all-rookie second team. So he was on some sort of team just about every year. Kobe Bryant, 41 years old, from August 23rd, 1978 to January 26, 2020. Unbelievable. I like what Mark Cuban said. He said there will never be another Dallas player to wear the number 24. Should they retire number 8 and 24 from the NBA? You're damn right. You're damn right. They should retire that number. Should they consider replacing him as the logo? That may be extreme, but why not? Why not? Kobe Bryant, a true legend, an icon, a great among greats. Like him or not, you need to respect him. He gave it his all. He pushed others. And as a result of it, he's a winner. He's a champion on and off the court. As I said, in his rookie season, outside of the NBA, this man won a Grammy. An Oscar. Won an Oscar. Won an Oscar in his rookie season. His little daughter, Gigi, 13 years old, would tell people, I'm going to carry on the legacy. She was probably headed to UConn, which was a goal of theirs. And I don't see why they wouldn't have got there. I mean, he's one of those guys that just seems like whatever he sets his mind out to do, he accomplishes it. So there's no doubt in my mind she was going to UConn. She wanted to be in the WNBA. He probably showed up at more WNBA games than he did with NBA games with her. Every moment they were out was a loving, teaching moment. A loving, teaching moment. He looked like he was in love with his kids, his daughters. It's priceless. As I said, Kobe Bryant, what he brings to the table is perhaps unmatchable. Listen, I'm 52 years old. I've been watching sports as long as I can remember. The Roberto Clemente plane crash, I'm a little bit too young to really remember that. May have been 2 years old. I remember in 79, growing up in New York, when I thought I was going to be a baseball player. Thurman Munson died in a plane crash. That was pretty tragic. Nothing in comparison to this, but that was pretty tragic. My passion for sports is a little greater for music. I remember driving home from New York and getting the word on the radio that Michael Jackson had died. Michael Jackson? Get out of here, man. In disbelief. This is similar to that. But you know what? It's even bigger than that. Because, A, his daughter is involved, and B, it was something that happened that was so routine. How many of us have had children that played sports and routinely we took them to their games? I know I did. I remember coaching my son, not only taking him from the games, calling in sick from work on the weekends just to take him to his games. Calling in sick. So I know what it is to have a routine. My daughter's taking him to cheerleading, gymnastics. I know what it is to have a routine, to just get in the car and say, come on, let's go. Oh, can we pick up so-and-so? Can we take? Sure. Come on, let's go. Something that he did routinely, whether it was a helicopter or not. That was his transportation. Listen, I lived in LA for 4 years, right outside of LA. In fact, I lived in a city right next to Calabasas. Calabasas. Had I stayed in Woodland Hills, my daughters would have attended Calabasas High School. That's how close I lived to Calabasas. And I'd driven on the freeways, going to work and coming home from work. I understand why he would use a helicopter. The traffic out there is rush hour all day long. There's not a time you can pick during the day and say, you know what, it shouldn't be no traffic out there today. Let's go right now. No. It's any time of the day you could literally sit in the parking lot on the 101, the 10, the 405, or the 5. I used to work 10 to 12 miles from my home and would take the back streets some mornings. So I understand. And that was his routine. Showing up at the Staples Center, landing on the top of the Staples Center in a helicopter to avoid that traffic. That was his routine. Just like it's our routine. When we put the children in the car, go pick up some of the teammates and take them to their game or to their function. Put that in perspective. Something so routine. Kiss the wife, kiss the rest of the children. I see you in a little while, babe. I'll be right back. Now, Vanessa has 3 daughters that just have memories of the other daughter and their father. All because of something that was so routine for them. We're going to Gigi's game. No, we have routines every day. We have routines every day. Whether that is walking a child to a bus stop or taking a child to school. Whether that's going out to the mailbox or running an errand to the grocery store or just simply driving to work and driving home. We have routines. And although it is a routine, and it's something that we probably can do with our eyes closed, nothing is promised. That's the sad thing about it. Nothing is promised. We can say to our loved ones, have a blessed day. Love you. I'll see you when I get home. It's not promised. It really isn't. It's not promised. But what I learned from Kobe, because this is a guy who went hard, just give it 110%. Live your life to your fullest. And be happy. I'm sure he had his days. Never seen it. Guy always seemed to be happy. Always seemed to have had that killer. And to be successful, you need to have killer. The Black Mamba. Think about that for a second. The Black Mamba. And he lived to every single word of it. Kobe Bean Bryant, you'll be missed. Think about this for you Kobe fans out there. We won't even see him take his Hall of Fame inductee speech, which probably would have been on a level of greatness as well. The NBA world has lost a tough one. And I want to say this. I want you to think about this for a second. All-Star weekends, finals, you see all the all-time greats. All of them. It's like NBA great players don't die. Since 1956, there's only been 3 NBA MVP winners that have died. Wilt Chamberlain, Moses Malone, and Kobe Bryant. Since 1956, we're talking about 64 years. 64 years of MVP winners. And only 3 NBA MVP winners from 1956 have passed away. Wilt Chamberlain, Moses Malone, and now the late great Kobe Bean Bryant. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. My heart, prayers go out to the families that are also suffering lost lives from, that was on board. Well, I do want to get to the Super Bowl. It almost seems like it don't even exist. This is the week of the Super Bowl, and it just seems like, But I'll be remiss if I didn't bring it up. So I am going to bring it up. I like Kansas City to beat San Francisco. I think they will win by somewhere between 10 and 13 points. I think a score of, 31-20 sounds good. 34-20 sounds good. I think it's going to be somewhere around there. I think what San Francisco has done was magical, and I don't think it's a fluke. I think in the seasons to come, they're going to have a nice 3 to 5 year window where they may be reaching the Super Bowl or just falling short of the Super Bowl. But I do think Kansas City gets the win this upcoming Sunday. I think Andy Reid finally gets that victory that has eluded him over the past. And that's the Super Bowl victory. I think Kansas City does pull off the win. They capture they win the Super Bowl, and they pull off the win. once again, I apologize to the football fans, but this football takes the back seat today to the great Kobe, late great Kobe Bean Bryant. He just brought us so much entertainment, so much good basketball, great basketball, just so much great basketball. And I think he may be the last of the Mohicans. Him and Iverson, they kind of played during that same era, and then just never cheated the game and just gave it their all. And despite injuries, they were that guy. Iverson, he had an effect on the game in a different way than Kobe. Iverson made basketball cool. He brought style to the game, from the dressing, the tattoos, the braids. He made it seem like you can go from the block to the league. But Kobe came with killer. And although Iverson had killer, Kobe came with killer. And that championship with Kobe and Philly. If Iverson had a little bit of help on the scoring side, maybe that goes a little further series. But they just had too much for Iverson. But it was fun. The only thing I wish I could have seen maybe is Kobe going head to head against LeBron when he was in Miami. That would have been good to see. So many of you are commenting. Good friend of mine, Keith, he's commenting, Kobe seeked and destroyed. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He didn't take no prisoners. If he wasn't up to the task, he'd do it by himself. And if he was lacking, he was pushing you along. He understood that it's not a one-man show. Even as great as he was, he needed the Paul Gasols, Lamar Odom, 1 year Trevor Ariza, 1 year Metta World Peace. But he motivated them. He made sure they was up to the task. Dwight Howard was having a second chance on life in the NBA and with the Lakers, and for the most part is making the most of it. He had to leave LA because Kobe made it uncomfortable for him. Why? I think Dwight Howard was happy with going to work, having fun, delighting the crowd, and getting a paycheck. But for Kobe, it was more than that. That black Mamba mentality, that seek and destroy that Brother Keith is talking about, made it uncomfortable for Dwight Howard to play in LA. Because it wasn't about fun and games and collecting a paycheck with Kobe. It was about winning. He wanted to win at all costs. He wanted championships. When you're a great player, you're defined by accolades. When you're not a great player, then you come there as a job and you collect your paycheck and you move on, and hopefully you get a raise or two every so often. But when you're a great player, it's not about what the organization pays you. Because the great players make more money off the court than what the organization pays them. It's about winning championships. It's about being the best that you can be. And it's unfortunate it didn't work out with Dwight Howard and Kobe. Because at that time, Dwight Howard was in his prime. He was only 2 years removed. He was only 2 years removed from playing against Kobe in the championship. And maybe if Dwight Howard had that same mindset as Kobe, and of course Steve Nash doesn't get hurt, but maybe we might have had a chance to see Kobe versus LeBron in the LA-Miami series. But it never panned out. Because Howard, he left for Houston. Kobe made it uncomfortable for him. Because Kobe wanted to win. There was no nonsense with Kobe. It was all business, as Brother Keith alludes to. It was all business. The game is going to miss this guy. The game is going to miss this guy at future Legends events. He's supposed to be on a panel at the 2035 All-Star game judging the slam dunk contest. He's supposed to be that guy. Maybe taking over for Dr. J. Because Dr. J is that guy right now. I don't think there is a former player that has judged more slam dunk contests than Dr. J. But that's what Kobe's supposed to be going forward. I say retire his jerseys throughout the league. I say consider replacing him as the logo. And as a 4-time NBA All-Star MVP, that should be renamed to the Kobe Bean Bryant MVP Award. And this upcoming Hall of Fame inductee will be the biggest, most emotional Hall of Fame event that perhaps any professional sports will probably have. Because when Vanessa walks across that stage or gets on that stage to accept his Hall of Fame awards and what comes along with it, there won't be a dry eye in the audience. And if there is, they should be escorted. Because they're not there for him. They're there for something else. They're not there for basketball. They're there for something else. That's hate. When she gets up there on that stage with her 3 daughters, -1, to accept an award for her husband, it should not be a dry eye in the room. And I repeat, if there is, they need to escort that person out because they're not there for basketball-related purposes. We all did this. In my day, it was Julius Erving and it was Clyde Frazier when I came out on the court as a youngster. 3, 2, 1. But today, it's 3, 2, 1. Kobe. Mamba out. Peace and blessings.